a is a positive real number such that a minus 1 over a is equal to the square root of a plus 1 over the square root of a, and we want to find a plus 1 over a. So we can see that using this equation, if we square both sides, we're going to get a plus 1 over a on the right-hand side here, since this is just the square root of a plus 1 over the square root of a. So let's do that. Let's square both sides. On this side, you're going to get a squared, obviously. You're going to get a plus 1a squared, 1 over a squared. And then in the middle term, you're going to get a minus 2 times a times 1 over a, but a times 1 over a is just 1, so you're just going to have a minus 2 as the middle term. Now as with this side, you're going to get the square root of a squared, which is just a, 1 over the square root of a squared, which is just positive 1 over a, and then you're also going to have the square root of a times 1 divided by the square root of a times 2, which is just plus 2 as the middle term. And now we have a plus 1 over a. Now, the problem is that we have a plus 1 over a, but we still have this a squared and 1 over a squared term over here. So what we can do now is introduce another variable. Let's introduce another variable x and have x equal to a plus 1 over a. So what that does is, well, first we have x plus 2 on this side. So let's just write on this side, x plus 2, so this side. And that's equal to a squared plus 1 over a squared. So, well, let's square this expression right here. We got x squared equals a squared plus 2 plus 1 over a squared. So we have x squared is equal to a squared plus 1 over a squared, which is right here, but then plus 2. And here's a minus 2 over here. So what that means is that on this side, it's x squared, so we have, which is a squared plus 2 plus 1 over a squared, but we want a minus 2 instead of a plus 2, so we subtract 4. So again, we have x squared is a squared plus 1 over a squared, which is what we want, and then we have a plus 2. But to get to the minus 2, we subtract 4, because 2 minus 4 is negative 2. All right, and now let's just solve this quadratic right here. It's fairly simple. Get all the terms on one side. We have x squared minus x, and then minus 6 equal to 0. Factor that into x. Well, let's see. Let's see. What multiplies into negative 6 and then add together equals negative 1? Well, that's just minus 3 and plus 2. And that's equal to 0. Solving this, we have x equals 3 and x equals negative 2. Now, are both of these values okay for a plus 1 over a? Well, remember, in the beginning we said that a was a positive real number. So if x was negative 2, then that means a plus 1 over a would equal negative 2. But a positive real value plus another positive real value will never equal a negative number. So x equals negative 2 will not work. However, x equals 3 definitely will work. You can even solve it yourself. A plus 1 over a equals 3. You'll get two irrational values, but both of them will be both positive and real, of course. So therefore, we have a plus 1 over a is equal to 3, and we are done.